Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chinti Inibongudwa. For those of you that are just joining us, and if you are just joining us, just know that I am a Nigerian-based YouTuber that is currently serving in Port Harcourt. I'm also a writer. I own a blog at WordPress. It's called trinitywrite.wordpress.com. And then, yeah, if you're just joining us, please do make sure that you're part of the family by subscribing, turning on post notification, and of course giving nice comments under this video. It really helps me a lot. It kind of does help me a lot. But then if it's not your first time, welcome back to my channel.
Yes,
These I've been really all gloom and doom. I don't know how I got into that mood, but I have been really all doom and gloom, and it wasn't looking like it was going to be bright again. But then it did get bright, and it didn't just get bright overnight, or it didn't just kind of like get bright because I wanted it to get bright. I had to take practical steps to make sure that it got bright, at least not as bright that I wanted to, but bright enough for me to make this video. So, but then before I decide to share with you practical steps that I did to make it bright in my doom and gloom world, I need you to understand that, yeah, this is actually me trying to put out a disclaimer right now. I need you to understand that I'm not a psychologist, never read anything that had to do with psychology in school, but I'm just telling you that these are life practical steps that I did on my own, and they helped me. So I just decided to share with you guys, yeah, this is it. This is going on. This is what it is. This is what I did. This is what helps me. This is what making the sun shine a little bit more in my universe. So yeah, let's get right into the video, yeah, shall we? First thing I did was I had to identify what the problem was. I needed to identify why I was all doom and gloom. What exactly was my problem? Was it because I wasn't feeling so creative, or because I was suddenly annoyed or upset that I wasn't just seeming to lose weight? You know, all of these things. Or if it was workspace, it definitely wasn't workspace anyway. Definitely wasn't workspace. My workspace is incredible. It wasn't just workspace. It was just, I needed to find out what the problem was. And then immediately I just decided that, okay, enough is enough. I need to find out what the problem is. Finding out the problem made the remaining practical steps that I took really much more easier. So for you, if you're going through a bit of gloom and doom and gloom and darkness, and you just don't want to get out of bed, you just don't want to talk to anybody, you don't want to hang out with anybody anymore, you just don't feel like you want to create content anymore, I think you need to sit and just drink chilled water. Just drink water and just find out what your problem is. Look inside yourself. Someone else is not going to tell you the problem. That's the truth. Nobody else is going to tell you the problem. You by yourself, in the middle of your head, in your brain, is going to know that this is what is wrong with me. And then by the time you find out why you're all gloom and doom, it gets better from here. So yeah, the next thing that I quickly did was to contact my support system. Yeah, when I mean contact your support system, it means you may already should have had a support system by now. Yeah, that's what I mean. It means you should have already had a support system by now. A support system could be your therapist, someone you could talk to without prejudice, without being afraid of being judged, without someone you can just talk to and just air out every single thing in your chest, both the good and the bad. It could be your therapist for some of us, or some of we that don't have people that we could talk to without judging. It could be your friends, it could be your spouse, it could be your man friend, it could be your woman friend, it could be your fiance, it could be, most people, it's their parents. I mean, I really sort of envy them. It's their parents. So you need to contact your support system. And then when you contact your support system, what do? You vent. Now, the truth is, it's much more easier if you ask your support system if you can vent out to them. This is what I'm going through, and I sort of need someone to talk to. If your support system can handle it, they'll tell you, okay, go ahead, vent, I'm listening. Some support system might tell you, really honey, I'm sort of going through mine too, so I don't know, I think we'll be fine. So they probably just don't want your load. But don't feel so bad if your support system can't seem to take on your baggage now, because everyone is going through something. That's the truth. Everyone is going through something. So when you contact your support system may not necessarily be in the mood to listen to you, then I suggest you get a therapist. Now, getting a therapist these days in Nigeria is a whole lot easier. It's really, really a whole lot easier. There are apps that you can actually download, and then you talk to someone. And there's this particular app, I forgot the name, but I think I'm going to leave the link down below, where you can select your therapist based on faith. If you want a man, if you want a woman, if you want a Christian, if you want a non-denomination, a non-denomination, or you want a Muslim. So all of these things, your criteria is there available to be picked. So I'll leave the link to that app. I heard about it once or twice. I think I almost used it at some point, but I've heard good reviews about it, so I'll drop the link down. So if your support system can, you should say therapy. But if your support system can, please vent, explain calmly, or if you have to cry, if you have to shout, but just ensure that your support system is listening, and as you're talking, you're letting off the load, you're telling them everything, because if you talk about some and hold back some, the doom and gloom is hanging somewhere too, or it may just be like it's waved, but it hasn't completely gone, because you haven't really talked about what it is that is eating your chest. So please explain, vent, cry, yell, talk to them, every single thing. And then most times after venting, you feel a whole lot better. You really honestly always do feel a whole lot better. After venting, what I actually decided to do was to take the advice my support system gave. A lot of us just want to talk, we don't want to listen. I had to take, that used to be my problem too, but at that point I knew that talking and not listening wasn't going to get me anywhere, so I had to listen. So after venting, the support system is definitely going to say one or two things to you. Learn to pick out the good from it. Like, just pick it up, listen, accept the feedback, accept the help. If they are offering to help, don't let your pride get in the way. Listen to help, listen to good reason. This is why, or the support system, I feel like, okay, I know why, or I have a solution, or just something, depending on what your problem is. Listen. Don't just talk and not listen. Listen to your support system. They do have one or two things to say. Sometimes they always say the right thing. It may not sound sweet in our ear, but the truth is they always somehow say the truth. Oh well, if you listen to your support system, you're going to have to act on what your support system said. Don't look at me like that. I know, right? You're going to have to act. If your support system says you have to find it somewhere in the middle of your head to maybe do this, do that, act on it. Act on what you're being told, darling. What your support system said to you is just going to remain in your head and won't have any practical effect in your life if you don't do what they have to do, or if you don't do what you're being suggested to do. Act on it, act on these advices, act on this feedback, get up on your feet and try to get your life together. That's what I did. Actually, I was asked to do this, I was asked to do some certain things, and honestly I just knew that if I don't do it, I'm going to go back to being doom and gloom again. And I started, and it's not easy. It's not easy, but what's a girl to do? Really, what's the girl to do? But what's she to do? What's she honestly to do? Now, after you have acted on it, the next thing would be is just to let some things go. You just have to let something go. It could be missed opportunities, it could be heartbreaks, it could be some things, but you just have to let go of the tightness in your chest. Every time it is doom and gloom for me, there's this tightness in my chest that I always hold on to. It's that anger that I always hold. I always feel like without that anger, I'm really not anything, or without that anger, I'm sort of like losing focus. But that's a lie. You have to let go. You have to let it go. Let it go. Honestly, really, you have to let it go. Let some of these things slide so that the sun can come in. Really, honey. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And then while letting it go, laugh. Leave, honey. At this point, you just know that It is either I'm this way for the rest of my life, or I have to get up and make the most of it. That was the only thing I had to tell myself, man. It's either I get up and leave and laugh and let go, or I could just stay in my bed and grumble and just get up and go to work and not open myself up to new beautiful things that are coming. So yeah, these are some of the things that I did. And of course, don't forget to pray. I know we're in a generation where we're woke and all that and all that and all that, but I'm a Christian. So prayer does goes a long way. Talking to God about how I feel does help me a lot. If you are a Christian, I suggest you pray. He listens. He helps us. It helps us take this advice from our support system, because sometimes we just don't want to, but then if we continue to pray, it helps us. He helps us, darling. So darlings, so these are some of the things that I did to help me out of my own doom and gloom. If you want to share your doom and gloom experience, please let us know in the comment section. Let me know exactly how you were able to, phase out of yours. I've been able to share a few tips that I think I did. I remember that I did. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.